Hey guys, Corey here with a new scrapbook process video for you for Hip Kit Club. So I am making this page with the March 2018 kits. So, all right, so the color kit was this amazing, watercolors from Vicky Booten. So I decided that I really wanted to do something with these colors and have the paints really be like the focal point of my page. So what I did was I just got some palette paper, and what I'm doing is I'm just basically putting a little dot of all of these paints on the palette paper. So I had this idea. It was kind of like, like a kindergarten type of project almost, where you like smash the paint in between like two folded pieces of paper or something. And that's sort of what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm using every single color. So they're all, these are new paints. I've never used them before. So, it's going to be good to be able to see what they look like on paper, but I want to turn it into a scrapbook page. So bear with me a little bit as we go through this process. And I kind of tested it out before I made this page and it came out really cool. So I think it's going to work out great. So once I got little dots of the paints all on the paper, I did add drops of water to each of them, and that was really just so that I can get the paints pretty juicy. I don't want them to be like super thick or anything because they are watercolors, so they come out thick from the tube. And so I'm just adding a drop of water to each of them, and then I'm going to go back and basically mix the watercolor and the water together to make it so it's runny, so which I want it to run. So I got 4 different cups of water, and I'm trying to work lightest to darkest so that I don't contaminate the new colors with old paint or something like that. So now I probably normally wouldn't use like brown or black on a page, but like I said, I'm using every color in this palette. So the brown and the black, those were both goes also. So and then there's also a white, which, I mean, like, it's white paper. I don't really need white watercolor paints, but you know what, we're putting that on there too. So we're going to see how it goes. So then I'm taking a piece of watercolor paper and I'm just dropping it on there. Now it's much darker than I want, and I knew it was going to be, so that page I'm putting to the side, and I'm going to get a second piece of paper out because that one really just kind of soaked up the extra, and then this one is going to be the one that I use, which I love it. It's so cool. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some droplets then. So I've got some clean water, and I'm just splattering the different colors that I like near their colors on the paper. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm actually taking the a watercolor class by Irite, and it's really cool. There's one online. I think it's the watercolor workbook, and she does these splatters and stuff. So I'm just experimenting with my paints a little bit more than I would have otherwise, and I just think it's kind of cool. So I'm just going through that and splattering some paint on there. I just love how it turned out. So once that was dry, there was like in that where the reds kind of mushed together, they weren't my favorite color, so I was like, I need to cover those up. So I start putting my page together, and it's just a photo of my daughter, and then these cool like Lovely and the bird, they're both these cool vellum die cut type of things, and then that's a chipboard circle sticker. And it looks really neat together, and so I'm just kind of layering those things on, and sadly, I'm sort of covering up the color I didn't like. But notice how I'm putting this on this page, right? So it's 9 by 12, and I'm putting it on so the 12-inch side is to the side and the 9-inch side is going. What page protector in the entire world is that going to fit in? That's so strange. And so I'm all of a sudden realizing, what am I doing? I got to turn this around. Of course, I'd already put that sticker on the page. So now I've got to try and peel it off. And I was really afraid that I was going to wreck my entire page, but luckily it came off. Thank goodness. And I could still cover up the kind of muddy red that I didn't like. Unfortunately, then there's a brown dot right at the back end of the bird. So that's not exactly how I want it either. So I do figure out a way to cover up that brown dot too, because I don't want it to look like the bird had an accident on my page, if you know what I mean. So once I get that adhered down the circle, I'm like, okay, let's figure out something that can cover that up. Perfect, little butterfly, boom, right there. Brown's covered up, and no longer does it look like my bird had an accident on the paper. So this page then it's almost done. It's such a quick little page that came together. If you look at the kit, you know, it didn't really have like a rainbow of colors in the kit. I mean, they had beautiful colors, but they were very soft and very muted. And these paints, especially on this way, kind of came out in a rainbow, and they're very bold. So there wasn't a ton that I could pull out of the kits to kind of add to that. So I was like, you know, I'm just going to go with these butterflies, and the paint on it, I think, kind of does its job of embellishing the page, I think. So while it is pretty simple, it does have a lot of paint and fun little things on it. I tried to add a title, or more of a title besides Lovely, and it didn't really come out right. And so I was just happy with Lovely on there. I'm going to add my daughter's initials. Luckily they're this navy blue, which works out really, really well. And then I'm going to add a couple more of these butterflies, these chipboard butterflies. And just kind of go with that theme a little bit more too. I didn't do it for the video, but I do end up adding a couple more of the gold rub-ons up to the top. And but I do that after the camera's already done, because I just realized it needed some more. And then I go ahead and date it. And guys, I don't even have any journaling for this page. That's it. So I hope you like it. It was a fun technique. I know it was really quick, but it just didn't take very long. If you guys have any questions, I'll leave them in the comment section for me. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and you can always find me creatively on Instagram at Corrie J Creative. Thanks for stopping by.